Hi everyone and welcome back to the zombies. In this video we'll go through the main quest Easter egg on Terminus as a solo. To begin with, let's talk about the loadout you need to make the experience as easy as possible. Since the Terminus Easter egg is quite a bit harder than Liberty Falls one, the requirements are a bit tougher too. I highly recommend Ether Shroud Field Upgrade. If you did not level up enough yet to unlock it, you may want to grind some levels to get it. And it's definitely worth spending your permanent unlock on if you have prestiged already. Next, you'll need some gobblegums, specifically Idolize and Shields Up. They may not be strictly necessary, but they do make your life much easier. For the boss fight, it's highly recommended to have a Chopper Gunner score streak, but don't sweat it if you don't have a level to craft it yet. They are pretty easy to get during the playthrough. Just remember to definitely pick one up when you see it. In terms of weapons, you can go with anything you feel comfortable with. There are some broken guns like Sally or GS45 pistol, and there will be more during the life of the game. By all means, use them. They make your life much easier. And GS45 is available as a wall buy right in the start of the map, so you don't even need to worry about having it unlocked. But it's also true that guns get nerfed and the balance changes and so on, so I'll be going with just a regular AK-47 and you can really do the quest with virtually any weapon you like. With that out of the way, let's get to the playthrough itself. In the first several rounds, you just follow the mission markers to get the power on. Concentrate on trying to land as many critical kills as you can and use the ground loot weapons dropping from the guards to conserve ammo. If you happen to get a nuke power up in the first 3 rounds, make sure to only pick it up once the last zombie in the round is dead. After the second generator is on, I usually stay in the wreck yard until round 4 and then clear it until only 1 zombie is left. Feel free to also interact with the gobblegum machine in the process to try and get the guns you'll need later. Once only 1 zombie is left in round 4, head down towards the sea cave. Make sure to pick up the shovel to the right from the cave entrance. Digging up trash piles should become a habit of yours. While most rewards are very basic, you often get perks, weapons and other nice items from them. The piles also respawn, so make sure to check for them every time you run by. Past the sea caves, open the door to the biolab and go immediately left. Once you're up the set of stairs and past some zombie canisters, you'll see a bunch of cages at the back with some zombies in them. Take out all the zombies in cages. Not only it's a bit of extra cash you quite need, it's also a step in a mini Easter egg giving you a free perk later on. The cages bars can block some of your shots, so getting a good angle is not always easy, but take your time and try to get them all. Once cages are all cleared, go ahead and turn on the last generator in the middle of the lab. Try to keep your last round zombie alive. You can differentiate between the round zombies and those specifically spawned for the challenge by the color of their eyes. Regular zombies have yellow eyes, while challenge ones have purple eyes glow. The challenge zombies go straight for the generator and mostly ignore you unless you stand in their way, while round zombies do not actually attack the generator at all and are only interested in eating you. It's no big deal if you killed your last zombie and progressed around. In that case, just clear the room until 1 zombie is left again. When the generator is on, raise the platform with the Pack-a-Punch machine as requested by the mission marker. Now I recommend grabbing a boat and going for some racing. It's a completely optional step, just a side Easter egg, but it gets you some rewards and those are always handy in the early rounds. The boat race is activated by interacting with one of 3 RC boats located on each of the smaller islands. One can be found on the eastern end of the Crab Island. You'll need to swim quite a bit off the eastmost beach, wrapping around the island almost in the opposite direction to find it. The next one is on the Temple Island. Run around the back of the island until you see one of the stone pillars and dive into the sea directly from it. You'll see the boat straight ahead.
If you kick me in the balls right now,
The last boat is on the Castle Rock Island, also around the back of it, towards the edge of the map. This one is the easiest to find as it's closest one to the shore and you can actually see it without diving. Only one of the boats is active though, and it will have the bright red flashing light on it. You'll need to hold your interact button while next to it to initiate the race. There's quite a bit of a delay before the race starts, but it does start eventually. The race itself is pretty straightforward, but it's not very easy. You'll need to complete the track by passing through every checkpoint in under 3 minutes. If you do it in under 2 minutes, you'll get slightly better rewards, under 1 minute and 45 seconds, even better ones, and under 90 seconds for the top tier reward. During the race there are also points being awarded for collecting speed boost bonuses, but those points don't seem to matter for anything at all. The result depends purely on time you show. Once the race finishes, you'll get teleported to the docks area, awarded some points depending on your performance, and a prize that may consist of weapons of varying rarity, perks, some salvage, equipment and so on. Usually nothing too fancy, but every bit helps early on, and the race is quite fun to do too. At this point you should already have quite a bit of points accumulated. If you want, you can pack-a-punch your weapon, but since whatever you started with is still rather powerful, I suggest getting a perk or two. The ones I go for first are Juggernaut and Deadshot Daiquiri, but if you're using the GS45 with explosive rounds, you probably want PhD Flopper. Anyways, it's your preference, whatever you prefer, go for it. Now with that done, we can finish this very long round. I prefer to do it while in the biolab, but that's not critical. When the round changes, the cages you cleared earlier of zombies in biolab get repopulated, this time with vermin. They are quite a bit smaller and lower than regular zombies, so they are a bit harder to see or hit, but you should be able to do it. As usual, clear the zombies until only one is left and then make sure to kill every vermin in the cages as well. After this, finish the round. Next round is usually a special one with parasites spawning on the map. The cages get a new tenant as well. This time it's gonna be a Mangler, or if you are in the team, one Mangler per player. Killing all the Manglers grants you a random perk power up, so each player in the team will get a perk for free. You don't have to kill the Mangler right away either, it can really be done at any point later, but I personally like to have perks earlier rather than later. Once you get to round 7 or 8, it's time to start working on the Wonder Weapon. Equip your weapon with Deadwire ammo mod and head over to the lift platform with a Pack-a-Punch machine. Start the lift and standing with your back to a Pack-a-Punch machine, face right from the lift controls. As the platform goes up, you'll see a set of windows in front of you with an electric distribution box visible in the right window. Shoot that box with your electrified weapon and you'll see a bunch of sparks leaving the box and traveling to another one. The next box you need to shoot will be immediately to your right, on the wall, and then the next one is on the house wall behind the Pack-a-Punch machine. Once you shoot all these, head into the house with the second power generator to find the fourth box, then back into the rec yard for the last one you need. Shooting the last box opens green doors next to it into the research office. To the left from the entrance you'll notice a named zombie crushed under the drawer. Kill the zombie to acquire the first part of your wonder weapon, the EMF fob. Now go to the C tower, the building with a huge machine making weird sounds all the time. On the table by one of the walls you'll see a briefcase with a hand still attached to it. Hold interact on the briefcase to open it and grab the Multiphasic Resonator from within. Immediately dash out of the C tower, as a whole bunch of vermin spawns when you get your part. Now you need to obtain 3 symbols from computers marked X, Y and Z around the area. Computers can be activated in any order, their only task is to show you the symbol, so sequence doesn't matter. The X can be found in the docks on the way towards the caves. Hold interact on the computer to reveal the symbol. Each of the symbols can be referenced to a specific number using the whiteboard in the research office, where the digit corresponding to the row of the symbol needs to be combined with the digit of the column to get your target number. In my case, X sits in the row marked 1 and the column marked 0, which makes X equal to 10. Or you can use this little reference I prepared for you where the numbers are already matched. The Y computer is in the storage area, up the stairs from the rec yard. As before, activate it and make note of the symbol. If you are playing solo, really just pause your game and write the number down somewhere. In my case, Y is 0. The last computer, for Z, is in the communication area, to the left of the stairs leading up from the Pack-a-Punch platform. In my case, the number for Z is 21. Head back to the research office and walk up to the oscilloscope looking machine to your right. Now, to calculate the passcode, you need to do some math with the numbers you acquired. The first passcode value is XX plus 11. With X equal 10, that's 20 plus 11, making the first number 31. The next number is a sum of double Z and Y minus 5. So in my case, that's 42 plus 0 minus 5 equals 37. The last number is an absolute of Y plus Z minus X. Absolute simply means that if you end up with a negative number, you ignore the negative sign. In my case, that's 21 minus 10 equals 11. Again, if you are a solo, just pause your game to do the math, or even prepare some Excel or Google Doc file with calculations pre-built in it. I'm sure somebody created a website or something where you just input the symbols and it does all the math for you. If in the team, have teammates train around the last zombie while one person does the math. If you're having difficulty doing the calculations and can't be bothered with the website and so on, you can actually ask Peck back at the guard post to do it for you, but he's gonna charge you 5 grand for it and I feel that's quite a bit of a waste. Once numbers are in, the oscilloscope screen changes to the island map with an aim marker jumping from one place to another while it calibrates the resonator. The process always lasts till round 9 if you didn't reach it yet, or until next round if you already passed the 9. You can technically do every step as early as round 4, but it will still keep calibrating until round 9 regardless. So you really have no choice but to progress to 9. If you can, hold off your weapon upgrades for now, as there is a very high chance to get either Rarity or Pack-a-Punch or both for free when you're doing the next step. As soon as you hit round 9, rush back to the oscilloscope to grab your resonator from it. Don't clear the round, you actually want a bunch of zombies alive for a change. With your resonator, rush towards the nearest boat. In the docks or biolab, that doesn't matter. Head over to the sunken ship, towards the holes in the hull. What you're looking for is small yellow lights under the water. Those are loot crates. Interacting with them gets you some rewards. You can actually do them at any point, but the loot tends to be a bit better in the later rounds. The locations of these chests is somewhat randomized, meaning they will always be in the area, but the quantity and exact locations will vary. On the ship, for example, you may have as many as 3 like I did now, but sometimes you can also only have 1. Make sure to carefully check the area and pick up all the crates. Now get back to the boat and over to the Castle Rock Island. As you get closer to it, you'll see a blue glowing sphere hovering above the beach. Interact with it to place your resonator in and start training some zombies. Don't bother killing them all, just let them follow you. After a bit of time, the sphere releases a blue beam that hits one of the zombies, who starts to glow. Try to lure this zombie as close to the sphere as you can and then kill him. He'll drop a small blue orb on the ground that you need to pick up and carry into the sphere. And you cannot run while carrying the orb, which is why you want to have it as close to the sphere as you can. Keep training the zombies around, occasionally killing 1 or 2. Don't go onto the killing spree though. It's super easy to progress multiple rounds while doing this challenge and find yourself without ammo or with insufficient upgrades. So just run around killing mostly vermin until the sphere releases the second beam. For some reason this one always takes a while, so be patient. Eventually it will happen though, and once you brought the second orb in, the sphere flies off, leaving your resonator on the ground. grab the resonator. It's extremely annoying to go to the next step and realize you forgot the thing on the previous island. It happened to me more times than I care to admit. Also, open any remaining underwater chests before you leave. You can also check whether the boat race is available again here if you want to, but don't initiate it until you completed the challenge. Now head over to the Crab Island. The sphere will be in the center and will turn green this time. I suggest you to check water at the beaches first to get any underwater chests in case you get free upgrades or pack-a-punches for your weapon. Then interact with the sphere to start the next wave. The principle here is exactly the same. Wait for the sphere to beam one of the zombies, get them closer to it to kill, and bring the green orb into the sphere. This island is much tighter though, with less free space for you to run around, so this challenge is quite a bit more difficult than the previous one. Parasites are particularly annoying here, so try to clear them out when you can. Be careful while bringing the orb to the sphere. You really don't want to go down here, so just take your time until you have a good possibility. It's a great time to use your tacticals to their full extent as well. If you have decoy grenades, they are a great way to get the zombies distracted while you carry the orb. Ether Shroud also works great, but the number of kills required to recharge it makes it a little bit not practical for all the orbs. But if you choose to use it here. This island is the hardest one. And possibly the easiest way is to use smoke grenades. They unlock early on and are cheaper to craft, and you are invisible to zombies while in the smoke. So once the orb is on the ground, drop the smoke there, grab the orb and carry it to safety. Once finished, don't forget to grab your resonator and head back to your boat. It makes sense to do a drive around the island to check if you missed any of the underwater chests, and then head over to the Temple Island. The familiar sphere is going to be purple now. Once again, the same drill here. Activate the sphere, wait for a zombie to get purple glow, and get the orb into the sphere twice. There's plenty of space here, so it should be quite a bit easier. Once you bring the second orb into the sphere, it spawns amp munition, which is the last part you need for your wonder weapon. Pick it up and clear any remaining underwater chests. Our task is complete here. Now if you want, you can also activate the boat race wherever it was available to get some extra loot. Now let's head back to the research office, and we can now build the Beamsmasher wonder weapon. Also, go to the biolabs and swim around the area to find the last one or two underwater chests. Once you open the last one, you get another random perk power up. If you didn't have Pack-a-Punch on your main weapon before, now is the time. I suggest you punch the gun you plan to play with and not the Beamsmasher. The next step is to find a missing encrypted hard drive. To do this, you need to find a tentacle trap that has a grate visibly broken. It can be one of the two in the biolab, but it can also be right next to the research office. Whichever it is, activate it and then shoot it with your Beamsmasher. It will drop the hard drive for you after a bit. A quick warning though, if you used save and quit function in this match before, it sometimes causes a glitch of more than one tentacle trap having a broken grate. If you are shooting the trap with your Beamsmasher and nothing falls out of it, go check around the map for other traps. Almost a guarantee that another one will have the same broken grate and will drop the drive for you as it should. Now bring the hard drive to pack at the guard station to reveal that Nathan is locked in the canister in the middle of the biolab. Now you need to obtain a code to unlock the canister holding Nathan. The first digit of the code is a number of full hours on the clock in the interrogation room. You can ignore the other hands, just look past which number the hour hand is. So if the clock is showing 23 past 4, then your first number is 4. The next number is in the mess hall. Look at the card pinned to the board. The value on the card is the second number. In my case, that's 3. The last digit is in the engineering, on the poster indicating the number of days since last injury. In my case, it's 4, making the whole code 434. Before proceeding further, you may want to play a few rounds to get ready. The fight ahead is reasonably tough, and you usually want your weapon at purple rarity and punch 2 for it to be easy. You can still do it below that, but it gets a bit too hard for comfort. Usually, you should be ready for it somewhere between rounds 11 and 14 depending on your luck with loot and money. Head down to the biolab and interact with the front of the canister in the center to open the window. Let Nathan complain a bit how everything hurts, and then come back to the window and interact with the code lock to enter your password. Once unlocked, you can interact with any of the release valves on the side of the tank to release Nathan. I mean, it's always a great idea to release a subject of nefarious experiments from secure containment in a zombie-infested compound, isn't it? If playing in a squad, all members would need to interact with a different valve at the same time. This is made just to make sure that everyone is here for the battle. Once the tank is open, Nathan emerges in the form of HVT amalgam. The biolab is now locked down, so you won't be able to leave until Nathan is dead. So just keep running in circle around the biolab, occasionally turning around and blasting a clip into Nathan. Try not to get stuck and avoid getting too close to him. The grab and pull attack amalgams have hit pretty hard and it's very annoying to be caught in. Eventually Nathan is gonna die and you'll get to see a short cinematic. Then dive into the water and look around for a keycard. It's pretty hard to miss since it's usually highlighted very well. Grab the keycard and head over to communications. You'll notice one of the computers by the wall has a green text on it. Hold interact on it and the network connection error will appear. The next step requires you to fight quite a few zombies in a very tight, locked room. So make sure you're prepared. Get some ammo, armor plates and whatever upgrades you feel are needed. What you need to do now is to fix up some broken network cables. But first, you want to find out which ones are broken. There are 3 of them total. One in the docks, right under the sea tower. One in the Crab Island, immediately on the beach on the western end, and one in the sea caves, along the left wall if coming from the biolab. 2 of them will be broken, and you will see that because there will be an actual gap in the cable connection, and one is intact. So visit them all to find out which ones you need to fix. Now head over to the sunken ship. As you approach the big hole in the hull, a bunch of parasites will spawn. Get rid of them. Swim into the hole and go up the ladder. The hatch above it will now open, since you have a keycard, and you'll find yourself in a small room with ammo crate on one side and table with 2 connectors on the other. Grab one of the connectors to initiate the lockdown, then immediately drop it, since you cannot run as long as you have the connector on you. There's currently a glitch that is widely used by speedrunners that allows you to skip the lockdown altogether. If you use a shock stick on either side of the hatch, it opens back up immediately as you grab the connector and the lockdown doesn't happen at all. But I suspect this will get fixed sooner rather than later. So if you can't or don't want to skip the fight, brute force it. It's not too rough, and with your current level of weapons you should be easily able to survive it. As an added bonus, you get the max ammo power up once the fight is over. After finishing the fight, grab your connector and jump down the hatch. Get on the boat and head over to one of the connections you found broken. There'll be some zombies and a mangler camp in the area, so you probably want to get rid of them. To fix the connection, you'll need to walk up to the broken cable and hold interact for 5 seconds. With full armor, you should actually be able to simply tank it, ignoring the zombies, but ether shroud, decoys or smokes make it a completely safe exercise. Then go back to the sunken ship, pick up the second connector and repeat the process on the second cable. With both cables fixed, the connection to Sam is re-established and the whole team needs to gather at the guard station. After a brief conversation, Beck will drop a hacking device for you to pick up. Grab it. You are now coming really close to the very end and you may want to do a bit of a prep before proceeding with the next step. Nothing too extreme, you just need to make sure that your ether shroud is fully charged and you have some tacticals that distract zombies. Smokes are awesome, decoys, monkey bombs and Casimirs are great too. Whichever you can get your hands on, they work. And you also probably want your armor to be upgraded to 3-plate, just in case. I usually play a few rounds here to get my main weapon to legendary pop 3 as well, but that's more for the boss fight rather than the next step. Whenever you feel ready, hop on the boat and make your way to one of the buoys with satellite dishes on them. There's 3 of them floating around and it doesn't matter which one you start with. There will be a few parasites flying around and you can either clear them or actually ignore them. I prefer killing them first. Then get to the buoy and hold your interact button to perform the hacking sequence. You can also do it while standing on the boat, but I prefer to do it from the water just to avoid accidentally getting onto the boat controls again. As soon as you have hacked your first buoy, the timer starts and you have 2 minutes to do the other 2. That's plenty of time, so hop back onto the boat and swim around to the next one. Again, it doesn't matter whether you go clockwise or opposite way, you'll basically need to swim around the map in any case. Clear the parasites and hack the second buoy, then proceed to do it all over again on the last one.
You left your body to science. That's all you have left.
Once you hacked the last buoy, the screen flashes and a dialog starts, informing you that there are 3 nukes being armed in the biolab. Make your way there. The bombs always appear at the same spots, 2 at the lower level on both sides from the melee macchiato machine, and 1 above them between the 3-plate wall buy and the elevator back to spawn. Run up to the bomb of your choice and activate your ether shroud. Then hold interact button on the bomb to defuse it. The defuse process takes about 10 seconds, so your shroud will wear off before you're done, but it ends soon enough for you to tank any incoming damage. Once the first nuke is defused, a mangler will spawn, or a few if you are in the team. You may want to get rid of it first. This is also time where you can get enough kills to recharge your ether shroud if you want to. Then run up to the next bomb. If using decoys, monkeys or Casimirs, drop one a bit away from the bomb to distract the zombies and make them run further away. If using smokes, throw one at the bomb and then get into the smoke to defuse. After the second bomb is out, an amalgam spawns. Again, you may want to kill it since special zombies are not as easily distracted. Then make your way to the last nuke, use whatever your destruction of choice is and defuse it. Once the last bomb is defused, the enemies around despawn, so you don't need to worry about them anymore. You have now completed all the steps leading up to the final boss fight. So before going in, make sure you are fully ready. Get your weapons to the target rarity and pop level, get any perks you still want to use, make sure your Gobblegums collection includes shields up and idolize, and get the chopper gunner killstreak. If you can't craft the chopper gunner, just play a few rounds. It drops really often from amalgams and manglers, and is also a usual drop from higher rarity loot keys. You probably want to keep your round below 25 just to make normal zombies a bit softer in the end, but that shouldn't be a problem. You also want to have some cash reserve for ammo refills. At pub 3, each ammo refill costs you 5 grand, and I prefer to have 2 full refills worth of money on me. You may need more if using high-powered, low ammo reserve weapon like GS-45 or SVD. Ready? Let's go get the boss then. Head down to the buyer lab and walk up to the door to the left of melee macchiato machine. Interact with it to start the boss fight. After a brief cinematic, you'll find yourself on the platform outside, with Patient 13 directly in front of you. The arena allows you to run around the whole platform, but if you do so, the boss will keep moving around to follow you too. That actually makes it really hard to hit him. So instead, use the area where you spawned. On each side of it you'll find big metal generator boxes. These are indestructible and provide full cover from any boss attack. So what you want to do is stay behind the cover and shoot the boss's weak spots on his shoulders. The number of zombies menacing you at this point is rather low, so you can concentrate on the boss for the most part, just occasionally clearing the more irritating minions. Most of them will also die to the boss attacks anyways. You will also be shot at by tentacles on the edges of the arena. You can mostly tank that damage, but anytime it gets too irritating, just move between the boxes. Make sure to time it right to avoid being hit by the boss attacks though. The weak points on the boss's body will move every now and then, so try to keep damaging them. The phase 1 continues until about 40% of the boss health is gone. He'll then dive into the water and manglers will start spawning in. You can use this time to clear some tentacles around, but they actually don't affect the boss health or the start of the next phase at all. So maybe a better idea is to kill some zombies to refill your field upgrades and get some ammo drops from the manglers. This intermission lasts for about a minute, then the boss reappears and the second phase of the fight starts. You also get the max ammo power up, which comes in really handy. In the second phase, the zombies get much angrier and the manglers keep spawning, and the boss's weak spot is now his mouth. This is when you probably want to use your shields up gobblegum to give you extra protection. If you have any tacticals, like decoys, monkeys, casimirs or smokes, use them to either distract the zombies or hide yourself. A little hint, when you distract zombies, do that into the boss attack zone, so they get all killed on the next hit of his tentacles. After you've done enough damage to the mouth, the weak spot moves to the tentacles and you actually do double the usual damage when shooting them. After you damage tentacles enough, the second intermission starts and lasts for another minute. Again, use it as you like to either kill some of the tentacles or run around training and killing zombies. Once the boss reappears, he'll now block half of the arena. You really want to end up on the same side of the battle you've previously been, as the other side offers no good cover. If you do get locked up at the back, jump into the water and use the ladder to get back into the front area. Once the third phase starts, get behind the cover and call in your chopper gunner. It's very important to be in the cover though. If you get hit by the boss attack during the kill streak, it will knock you out of the kill streak and it's gonna be wasted. Aim your chopper gun at the boss's head, trying to hit the eyes as much as possible and keep at it until the fuel runs out. If that doesn't finish the boss altogether, it should get him really low now. Once out of the chopper, you'll notice that amalgams started spawning around. These are very annoying and they will keep on coming non-stop, so at this point use your idolized gobblegum, which will make all zombies ignore you completely for 30 seconds. That should usually be more than enough time to finish off the boss and complete the main quest. Congratulations! I hope this guide was helpful and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.